How you doing, buddy? Brought you all your favorite candies.
While you may not expect to be hit with a wave of nostalgia walking down the candy aisle, it's undeniable.
Don't give candy to a baby. They can't brush their teeth.
It brings back memories. Well, if you can't pop down to a store, this will have to do. Here are the top 10 candies that will make you nostalgic. Push Pops.
What's a push pop?
I don't know.
What's a push pop?
I don't know.
Push Pops are an American brand that has been around forever. Well, since 1986 anyway. It's a variety of lollipop that comes in assorted fruity flavors, all contained in a tube that allows you to savor it at your own pace while being able to save some for later. This candy gets its name because, you guessed it, it needs to be pushed out of its tube to be eaten. And it even comes with a small clip to enjoy it on the go. If you're having trouble recalling what these look like, you might remember their earlier ads. A bunch of children dressed in retro clothing riding a school bus exclaiming that it's a pop you just can't top. It's in the push, it's in the pop, it's a push pop. But seriously, watching this ad and eating these candies is like a trip down memory lane.
Charlie Chuckles Chicken, you are accused of being too serious.
Some of its flavors include blue raspberry, strawberry, watermelon, and berry blast. The good news? They all come in the same pack, so you don't need to choose which to buy. There are also different variations of these pops: original, spring-loaded jump, triple power, flip and dip, push pop sliders, and push pump spray. In 2020, they even added the push pop gummy roll. This candy was definitely popular with kids because it won the candy industry's Kids' Choice Award for Best Novelty Candy.
Two hands.
God, 2 hands. Pushing the pop. Pushing the pop.
WarHeads.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Negasonic Teenage. What the?
These candies were made popular for a more sadistic reason than most on this list. WarHeads were the sourest of the sour, and if you could stomach one without going red in the face, you were the ruler of the playground. Manufactured by Impact Confections, they were marketed as an extreme candy with an intense flavor. That's putting it lightly. If you've ever had a Warhead, you know what we're talking about. At first, it's not so bad, sure, but then a moment passes and you start to feel something. A moment after that, and your mouth is in pain and you find yourself making the same face as is on the package.
This is a very sweet aftertaste, though.
Hey, there's no shame in it. No one can stomach those. In fact, sour candies such as Warheads were listed as one of the more dangerous candy types ever. Due to the high acidic content, the candy literally damages your tooth enamel, at least faster than other candies. Don't worry, your saliva should help balance out the acidity in your mouth, but if you eat too many, well, who's to say? Another note, you shouldn't brush your teeth immediately after eating these candies, even though you may be tempted to. Brushing will only serve to spread around the acid, infecting more of your teeth. Instead, wait at least 30 minutes before brushing. Your teeth will thank you.
I get it. I have bad teeth.
Candy necklaces.
Is that candy?
Yeah, it's a necklace made out of candy. Want one?
A candy necklace made up of rainbow-colored candy, offering bling and a snack on the go. What's not to love? They were so fun. Whether you were dressing up and feeling pretty cool, or you were gifted one of these by your childhood beloved, candy necklaces and other assorted candy jewelry were always sure to impress your fellow playground goers. Unfortunately, no one knows who invented these wearable sweet treats, so we can't give credit where credit is due. However, rumor has it that they were invented in Northern Europe before being introduced to the United States in the 1950s. Nowadays, candy necklaces are produced by companies such as Smarties Candy Co., but it may be a bit surprising to learn that there are variations of them available on Etsy. Or rather, things that take inspiration from this childhood favorite. People have really gotten creative in the candy department, from gummy worm earrings, gummy bear pendants, and even the scandalous edible candy underwear.
You know, there's a string in there.
Nothing beats a candy necklace when you're looking for some sweet nostalgia. So if you're looking for a candy that isn't in the underwear category, searching for candy necklaces won't be hard. You can pick these up online at your local Walmart or really any place that sells sweet treats.
Now that's all I want to hear.
Nerds.
These are nerds. I'm eating gems.
These were super fun to eat. The Nerds packaging just hits all the right spots. Each box contains at least 2 different flavors. It's got super bright colors, it's covered by playful drawings able to keep a kid's attention for minutes on end, and most importantly, it's got personality.
It's cool now. It's cool to be a nerd, and I remember when it wasn't.
Angelo Fragos launched Nerds in 1983, and just 2 short years later, they were already named the Candy of the Year by the National Candy Wholesalers Association. Now, that's an accomplishment. The UK sells a 3-chambered Nerds package and a rainbow box that both feature many different fun flavors. In fact, there are so many creative types of Nerds, it's hard to keep track. Nerds cereal, Nerds gum, Nerds rope, Nerds clusters. They even had jumbo Nerds. There were also dweebs, which are now sadly discontinued, which were basically just a soft and chewy version of Nerds. This has got to be by far one of the favorite and most famous candies to ever come out of Willy Wonka's factory. The playful colors and creative designs still manage to spark joy even to this day. Long live the Nerds!
Get those nerds! Nerd! Nerd!
Fruit by the foot.
Guys, this is weird.
Fruit by the Foot is an iconic snack made by the General Mills Betty Crocker line and has been around since the 1990s. Fruit by the Foot was most likely inspired by the company's fruit roll-ups, and funny enough, they seem almost identical upon first glance. This is really only because they're both fruit snacks and they're both rolled up, and their ingredients are exactly the same. In fact, they're so similar that people will often mistake a Fruit by the Foot for a fruit roll-up and vice versa.
Fruit roll-up? No.
Okay, there are a few differences, but mainly only in flavor, dimension, and consumption. Marketed as 3 feet of fun, these tasty morsels were a huge hit found in lunchboxes back in the 90s. If you ever traded your lunch with other kids in the playground, you know that these bad boys carried a lot of weight. It seems as though every kid wanted a Fruit by the Foot, no matter the cost. It was the elite snack. Nowadays, these treats are still popular, even with the older grown-up folks. In fact, there's even a TikTok challenge where you compete with your friends to see who can eat a Fruit by the Foot the fastest. Oh, and you're only allowed to use your mouth. Whether you're challenging your friends or simply eating them for old time's sake, Fruit by the Foot holds an exceptional and nostalgic place in our hearts.
I love my Fruit by the Foot.
Laffy Taffy.
His liver looks healthy.
That's a wad of Laffy Taffy.
If you don't remember this candy, Laffy Taffy are small, individually wrapped taffy rectangles available in a variety of colors and artificial fruit flavors. Other rare flavors like caramel apple, coconut, and strawberries and cream are also available, if you can find them.
The vines! They're Laffy Taffy!
Produced by the Ferrera Candy Company, they were originally advertised as having a long-lasting flavor. But truth be told, fans of the candy mostly remember the moments of pure joy that Laffy Taffy brought, and the way it endlessly stuck to your teeth. The name Laffy Taffy refers to the texture of the candy and the cheesy jokes that are printed on the label. Some of our favorites include, what do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. What is an owl's favorite subject? Algebra. The jokes were often sent in by children, fans of the candy no doubt, and they're even credited on the wrapper. Something for them to brag about later, that's for sure.
Taffy puller? Hey, that was my idea.
Fun Dip.
They can spend their hard-earned cash on anything.
Fun Dip candy.
That's the point.
Manufactured by Willy Wonka himself, Fun Dip has been sprucing up childhood since the 1940s. Originally named Lick-em-Aid by Fruzola, Fun Dip was sold to Ferrera Candy in 2018, along with other Wonka candy brands. Believe it or not, the iconic dippable candy stick wasn't part of the original production, but came a little later, along with a fun new packaging. The original Lick-em-Aid packaging looks pretty retro today, with old-timey drawings of people on them, all surrounded by dull-looking oranges, purples, and pinks.
Is that Fun Dip?
When it was rebranded to Fun Dip, the packaging became a bit more vibrant, using a bright green along with swirls of colorful purples, blues, and reds. And of course, the trusty Wonka label is in the left side corner. The most common flavors are cherry, grape, and a raspberry apple combination that turns from blue to green when wet with saliva or water. Weird, but delicious. Fun Dip also comes in sour flavors, including sour watermelon, sour apple, and sour lemonade. Packets with 1 1 stick and 2 flavors were once the standards and are still available today, but a 3-flavor package is more commonly found in stores. If you want to pick up some fun dip for yourself, you're in luck. These sweet dipping treats are still around, and it doesn't seem as if they're going anywhere anytime soon.
Lick it up, baby. Lick it up.
Fruit Gushers.
Ew! That doesn't taste like a Gusher!
Who remembers Fruit Gushers? These Betty Crocker branded fruit snacks that gave you loads of fun as kids. Targeted at a younger market, these are acorn-shaped candies with a gummy-like exterior and an ooey gooey interior, hence their name. Oh, to be a child with these at lunchtime, squeezing Gushers between your fingers and watching the insides drip out. These originally came in 2 flavors, Strawberry Splash and Gushin' Grape, but nowadays they've released plenty of other flavors that fans have gone crazy for. Some of these newer flavors include Scary Cherry and Tropical Freakout. There's even a sour version of the snack for those who want to keep their mouth on alert with a little acidity, and there's even a mystery flavor for any Sherlock Holmes fans. In the last few years, the company faced a lawsuit accusing them of misleading its customers into believing the snacks were healthier than they actually were.
That's weird.
Because of this lawsuit, the company decided to make these sweets a little healthier. They removed the artificial coloring from all of its fruit snacks, not just Gushers, which definitely made them healthier than they once were. So now you can eat a package of these without feeling as bad about ingesting all those chemicals. Though, of course, they're still packed full of sugar, so keep that in mind before doing anything too gushin' crazy.
Call me crazy one more time.
Cuckoo.
Jolly Ranchers.
This is bizarre. There's all these Jolly Ranchers in the packet.
You are wearing my jeans. Please take them off right now.
Famous for their bold flavors and bright colors, Jolly Ranchers are definitely an all-time favorite. Founded in the late 1940s by Bill and Dorothy Harmson, Jolly Rancher got its name for 2 reasons. One, to give the impression of a friendly Western company, and second, because the Jolly Farm was a Depression-era general store which sold hard candies. While the sweets are more widely known to be hard candies, they also come in gummies, fruit chews, jelly beans, lollipops, gelatin desserts, gum, ice cream, chocolate, and sodas. You know, a casual amount of derived products. There was even a Jolly Rancher cereal released, which did surprisingly well considering it's an odd concept to say the least.
More with Jolly Rancher. Somebody better get their hand out of my pockets!
Jolly Rancher's original flavors were watermelon, apple, and fire sticks. The company then introduced cherry, orange tangerine, grape, peach, sour apple, and lemon, which was eventually replaced by blue raspberry. Not a great win for citrus lovers. Luckily, in 2013, lemon was reintroduced in an all-lemon bag. Well, whatever flavor is your favorite, these candies are guaranteed to keep you jolly all day long.
Wow, that was weird.
Pop Rocks.
Are you sure that it's okay for birds to be eating Pop Rocks?
Last but not least, Pop Rocks has been bringing us fun since 1975. Who else remembers downing a package of Pop Rocks only to approach a friend or family member and then open their mouths to assuredly freak that person out? A lot of thought went behind this candy.
Yes, science!
In 1961, 2 General Foods research chemists Leon T. Kremsner and William A. Mitchell patented the idea of Pop Rocks and worked very hard to manifest their dream. In 1983, General Foods actually withdrew the candy after a very short shelf life, saying it wasn't successful enough for them to keep producing. This is the part where you would normally be devastated. However, its popularity unexpectedly increased, and unauthorized redistribution from market to market resulted in an out-of-date product reaching consumers. After that, Kraft Foods licensed the Pop Rocks brands to Zeta Especial S.A., who continued making the product under Kraft's name. A few urban legends surround these candies, namely that if someone eats Pop Rocks and then drinks soda, their stomach will explode. This is, of course, not true, but it was something whispered on the playground countless times. These candies are so well loved because they offer such a unique experience, an essential part of everyone's childhood, and indeed a must-have Halloween candy. Growing up wouldn't have been the same without Pop Rocks in our lives. Rock on, little guys, rock on.
You can't feed candy to birds. Their stomachs will explode.
Even if it's just a few Pop Rocks?
Are you crazy?
For more sweet videos, just tap that screen, show some love, and click that subscribe button and ring that notification bell.